Hi, this is Lady Lex UK and here's another tutorial for Project Spark, and today I'm going to be looking at making skeletons in Project Spark. Now there are no skeleton character models, you have to make your own, and I would say it was easy, but it's pretty straightforward. So here is our character model, and what I've done in here, I've put some spheres on his joints just to show you where they are, roughly where the joints are on the character model. And as you can see, there's left shoulder, right shoulder, left elbow, left knee, left foot, etc. And over here I've got the same model, and I've added some bones to his legs so that you can see what effects happen when you add two different joints when you're trying to make your skeleton. So let's have a look at those. Now there is something very weird going on in my level, which won't happen in yours. I don't know why it's doing it, but when I first press play, they jump about in the air, which is a bit weird. Anyway, here we have our character. And as you can see, I've put a spark on his feet so that we can see him, except we can't see him. And the reason for that is that the spheres that I've used have a very short draw distance. As you can see, as soon as I get close, you can see them, but otherwise we cannot see them, and the character becomes invisible, which is a little awkward, to say the least. So be aware of that whenever you are attaching anything to your character. The size of the object, the draw distance of the object will make a difference. Anyway, the bones are okay at distance, so you can very successfully use those to make your skeleton model. So now you can see I've added some bones. So let's look at the bottom of his legs here. For the bottom of his legs, on his left side I've attached it to his knee, and on the right side I've attached it to his foot. Now there's a little bit too much movement in that right hand side for the foot, so really for the bottom leg you need to attach it to the knee. You attach the foot to the foot, but the bottom leg, attach it to the knee. And over here, on his left leg, I've attached it to the hip for his top of his leg, and to the knee on his right leg. Sorry, they're all getting all muddled up now. There we go. And as you can see, there's a little bit too much movement in that right leg, so attach it to the hip is what you need to do. And you should experiment a bit when you're making your models to see which is best. But there we go, hip, and then knee, and then foot. And it's the same for the arms, so it'll be shoulder, and then elbow, and then hand. Okay, so that's basically what you do. You take your bone like this. Let's see if I can grab a bone. There we go. You pop it in the world, put it at the right orientation so that it matches his leg, and then attach it, and then move it into position so that it's in the right position for his leg, like so. And that's all you need to do, and you do that for every single bone that you want for your skeleton. So we'll just turn these off so we don't need to get these walking around and getting all confused. Also, I don't want them being attacked by my skeleton here, because I've got him set as an enemy, which is probably what you're most likely to do. So he's got an enemy brain in him. As you can see, he's just I've made him black, so you can have him so that you can see him with visibility on or off. Let's have it on to start with, and see what that affects. It's a sort of like a skeleton suit. Now I've attached all these bits and pieces to various parts of his body, and I've used some stones and the vertebrae and some stone hooks and the enchanted skull. Make sure you remove any brains that are in any props that you use before you start, because it's very difficult to remove the brains once you've attached them. But there you go, there we are. I've got some hands using some rocks there, and the same for the feet. and you can see his eyes through this head. And like I say, it's very difficult to move the prop once they're attached. It's very difficult to grab it. So best be careful when you're making it. Of course, you can go into the character like this, go to Character Studio, go to Attachments, and then you can select. So I can select my Enchanted Skull here. So I was a bit concerned about where that was positioned, and I think I want that a little bit more like that. There we go, that's better, more centered. Okay, so let's turn his brain on, because I don't want him to be a template anymore. Let's put his brain on and let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I'm getting that weird. Let's restart that. I don't know why it's doing that. Right, okay, so here is my skeleton. And as you can see, that's quite effective with the black body. So if you wanted to be a bit more solid, and you can change the colours, of course, you can be red or whatever you like, and you could attach all sorts of things like plants and all sorts of things to him to make it look like he's got entrails coming out of him or whatever, make him a bit more gory. Okay, so there's my skeleton, and this is what he looks like when you turn his main character off. It's visible, it's no longer visible, and now you're going to get more of a skeleton effect. Notice his hands and feet, draw distance problem with those stones, but everything else is okay. There you go, there's my skeleton, and I think that's quite effective. You can experiment about with all of the bones that are available. There aren't that many. There's a few skulls, this is the huge femur, and there's some vertebrae that you can play with. Otherwise you're going to be using rocks and things to make your character models. So let's turn him off, and I'll just quickly show you. It's not my best model, I will say, but here is a skeleton wolf. I've used the dragon skull and jaw, and the vertebrae spine, and it sort of works. I think it needs a little bit of work, this one, to be honest, but just to show you that it doesn't have to be. And again, I'm getting that weird, which I do not know what is causing that. It isn't what I'm doing with these skeletons, I hasten to add. There's something a little weird going on. Anyway, here we are. Here's our skeleton wolf, and because he's making wolf noises, you don't really notice that it's a dragon head, really. That works quite well. And there's also other skeleton heads that you can use, and bones, etc. Okay, well, thanks for watching. I hope that's useful to you. I'm sorry about the little bug there, where I haven't actually worked out what's causing it. It is a weird one, but if anybody knows, please leave in the comments if you've had that bug yourself, and what's causing it. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and keep sparking.